I'd like to say thank you to you two as well for your very honest opinion, for putting the matters on the ground to the people who are in the spaces to actually cause change and to implement. And what I would like to ask you is, are there certain peculiar situations from the university you're coming from that was not addressed in this event for which you would like to put across for people to know?
Well, actually, I would say the one thing I mentioned about the sensibility and the space that is not there for reflecting these issues is one that affects me in daily life, because when I teach in an international master, and then we read, I try to integrate in the literature and the syllabus different readings. So I place emphasis on gender of authors, but also sort of geographical province. And sometimes I feel that for students, depending where they come from, it's very difficult. For example, we've been reading Quijano, Decoloniality of Knowledge. It's very difficult coming from, for example, German high school system, reading in English a very theoretical text. And this is a very challenge. And then sometimes I feel like I would need more guidance or exchange with others who teach these kind of things, how to sort of create access for students. And then on the other side, I think we have the freedom of teaching what we want, so we create our syllabi, but we have no, as teachers, there's nearly no space to exchange on, okay, what are the priorities we want to teach, and what are not only of course, the theories and the empirical issues, but what are actually, how do we approach theory? As was mentioned a lot, I think, and this is it's not my critique, but it's coming from different scholars around the globe, that still the Global South is seen as the space of empirics, and the North is where theory is produced. And this is, I would say, strongly reflected in the syllabi of the curricula, and I think this is something which I consider very, very, very important. And this is, you can start with looking at what is the reading list. How do you treat theory? Do you debate knowledge? And this is not only to look critically at what knowledge is produced and how it's produced. There is an input from decolonial studies, but also from post-structuralism. So it's to treat different theoretical tradition as equal, right? And also how, talking about indigenous knowledge system, to treat it also as not something that is only part of the Global South, as exotizing, but that there's also, of course, different knowledges here in the Global North, which are not part of a sort of a formal knowledge canon, maybe, that is taught. But I see that university, there are some spaces for reflection, but to sort of sensibilize and have these debates on a wider level, also talking about other disciplines. We are from humanities, social sciences, natural sciences, totally different story. I think that that's still a long way to go. But here I would actually consider it very important also that students ask questions to teachers and try to engage in these talks, because they can sort of put the question.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.